Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are doing great. Happy Saturday, or whenever you watch this. This is a timeless message, so I just hope in general you guys are doing well. I see that my peoples, Chris and Tina, they had popped in before I actually was on, so I hope you guys end up popping back in. Thank you for being patient. I had to get everything situated and stuff, and it took longer, way longer than expected. So I do apologize if you guys were actually like waiting. Um, I got a little smoothie here I made. 'Cause I'm hungry, but I don't feel like eating an actual meal just yet. So I'm trying to hold myself off. But anyway, yeah, so as you got, well, let me start with prefacing by saying welcome to the channel. Like I said before, if you're new to the channel and want to stick around, that would be great. See if this is your vibe, and if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, hit the like button, all that good stuff, so that we could stay connected. And for those of you who have already been rocking with your girl for a bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. Greatly appreciate you guys. So with all that said, as you guys saw, this is a Pick-An-Emoji reading. So how it works is there are some emojis that are pinned in the comment there. There's the Cupid's arrow one, then there's the bandaged up heart, and then there's the little swirly hearts. So you pick an emoji and then you just kind of wait until your reading comes up. And if you don't want to stay the whole time, you can also come back when I post it up, and then you can look at the timestamps. I'll provide those at the end, or when I post it, I should say. So with all that said, throat chakra has been acting crazy ever since I said to myself, this is what I think I want to read about today. I was like, I feel drawn to read. I just don't know what I should read about. So this was what I felt drawn to read about today. So it has been a long time in general since I've done a love reading, and it's also been a while since I've done one of the Pick-An-Emoji. So let's see what's going on. All right, so let's get started. This first reading will be for those of you who end up picking the Cupid's arrow heart. If you picked that one, this reading is for you. Let me actually write down the timestamp so I don't forget. So Cupid's arrow heart, if you pick that one, which is the first one, we're starting at about 250-ish. So I'll put 250. All right. Time on the clock. Okay. So Spirit might let positive energy into this reading for the those of the individuals who come to this reading and picked the Cupid's arrow heart. Show them what they need to see at this time for their highest good, clearest, and most accurate messages, please and thank you. All right, let's get started. Let's do a few more shuffles. I just heard Cupid shuffle. That's funny. I love a good little pun and irony and things like that. All right, so let's see what is going on with you guys who picked the Cupid's arrow heart. One more shuffle. Ooh, okay. So we have pay attention to red flags. The signs are cautioning you. That's just here on the bottom. So we won't get too freaked out about it. But maybe there's this saying in general, like, maybe in the past you've been the type where, you let things slide, and, it's like no more of that. You're going to be paying a lot more attention to, the vibes that a person gives off. Let's say if you're already in like seeing somebody or something and things seem amiss, maybe it's a warning about that. Or in the near future, there could be somebody who comes in and they want you to pay close attention to how they behave. All right, let's get like maybe 3 from each of these. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So some of you guys might be in separation from somebody, or you're about to be in separation from somebody. And it could be because you saw a lot of red flags. Interesting. Yeah. Oh boy. Sorry that this isn't going how I was hoping. We have deception on the bottom. It says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So yeah, you might have been seeing that this person wasn't, what they were cracked up to be, or this could happen in the near future. And it's like, Again, moving accordingly, figuring out what the next step is. Tell us more. Free yourself. All right. It's time to take back control of your life. Very interesting. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to have fun and shine. So I'm kind of getting, for those who picked that first emoji, the Cupid's arrow. It's like I'm getting that this happened already for those of you who do end up resonating with this message. Um, and this is going to maybe be a time to kind of have fun and just kind of, put yourself out there for dating purposes again if you're ready. No rush, right? When you feel ready, you'll know. If this is something that's really, really frequent, I mean, not frequent. That's an interesting word. That's not the word I wanted to use. I was trying to say recent, not frequent, but maybe they're trying to say that something like this has happened on more than one occasion to you. So there could be also this energy of needing to kind of, focus on self right now. I'm getting for some of you who end up resonating with this particular message. You have passion here. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So I am kind of getting this as more of an energy of right now focusing on just having fun. And, you know, when something more serious comes along, you'll kind of know, you'll recognize it. And what's on the bottom, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So you do have to kind of, let go of that old stagnant energy first to welcome in the new, is what I'm getting. Yeah, look, we got two cards that came out. I was trying to take off whatever was on the top, and look, that pay attention to red flags is there again. And underneath that is chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Middle of the deck. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So they really do want you guys to focus on not just like this healing energy I'm picking up on, but also this energy of focusing on just your overall growth and self, taking the experiences that you've had already with that past person, because I am getting this as a past person, or they're about to be a past person in the near future. So yeah, there is a separation on the horizon, or has already happened. So being able to welcome in a meaningful connection that will allow for growth when the time is right is what I'm picking up on. All right, so we're gonna look into the tarot. I'm thinking maybe doing like a 3-card spread and maybe one extra piece of advice. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do recent, past, present, and future. As I talk about a sense of healing, we got the star here. I split the deck, along with 4 of cups. So, there could be the sense of dissatisfaction when it comes to love, which is fine. You might be also seeing the number 4 a lot. I'm getting that because there's 4 people in here, 4 likes, and then this is the 4 of cups. And ironically, when I was making my smoothie, I joked to myself when I was setting everything up, I was like, for the time I wanted to start, I put 4:45. I was like, I should put 4:44. And then that was on my clock in the kitchen when I was making my smoothie. I was like, dang, I should have put that. So some of you guys might be seeing that number a lot, which is talking about, really about like your prayers being answered. So if it's been like kind of a long time coming when it comes to love, and just kind of like hoping things will, kind of, you know, I heard the word catapult. Go in a new direction, right? And pick up, look, you know, going away from the heartbreak and pain and going into those smoother, calmer waters is kind of what I'm getting. Um, yeah, look, 2 of Cups, partnerships, romantic partnerships at that. So I like that energy so far. I know like this seems like a little bit negative, but it's really not. Sometimes when we get a love reading, or we're doing a love reading, we're like hoping it's gonna be all peaches and cream and rainbows and butterflies and shit. And it's not always gonna be like that. Sometimes it's more about needing to focus on yourself and your healing process in order to welcome in the next thing. And of course, take it as it resonates. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. So I like that energy too, because it could represent a couple of things. It could represent like a soulmate partnership. It could also represent major choices that need to be made. We did also see the Two of Cups. So there is definitely something about partnerships. You got the King of Cups. That's about like emotional intelligence. See a couple people pop in. Hey, Veronica. One of my soul sisters. I call her one of my sisters. Her name is Veronica. And I see Cheryl from Australia is here. Hello, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys decide to stick around and like what you see here. Right now I'm still working on the if you see the emojis that are in that pinned comment, I'm working on that first one still right now, but I'm about to start getting ready to close that one out soon. Middle of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands, which is about passion. It's about, and actually, we got passion twice, right? We have passion here, we got passion here. So, just that energy of going after what makes you feel passionate. Now, I will say, this is a little bit of a warning that I'm picking up on. If passion tends, 11:11 as I say this, be mindful of passionate relationships because, and we did see like, pay attention to red flags energy more than once. So just make sure that you're not basing relationships solely off of that type of energy, if you know what I mean. Because if that's all, hey guys, thank you. I saw y'all had tapped in earlier. I'm happy you came back. Welcome and welcome back. Love y'all. So here on the bottom of the deck we have the Fool, which is representing, hey Margaret, how are you? We have the Fool, which is about, it's like that first step towards something else, right? It's about taking a leap of faith into the unknown. You don't necessarily know what's going to happen. You're really starting at, ground zero, starting all over again. And we saw that there's like the separation and everything, and, now you're taking that leap of faith, or, it's this energy that's going to be coming towards you soon, to go towards something different, something new. Yeah. Releasing the heartbreaks and disappointments. Yeah, you might have been spending a lot of time in isolation, might be like in hermit mode a little bit. Makes a lot of sense to me, based on the energy that we're seeing so far. So let's get recent past for the group who picked the Cupid's arrow heart. Where's the most accurate message, please? Yeah. Recent past, the Tower, major ending. Hey, babe. A major ending that took place, and you are about to basically, there's big changes happening and seizing new opportunities as well. Oh, nice. The fire pit. I gotta stop by. I haven't been at y'all house in ages, right? Bring my cards with me. But yeah, you guys, I'm getting, there was like a major shakeup when it comes to love, and that is what prompted a breakup. And with that breakup, and it's funny because my people's right here, Chris and Teen, as I call her. I've known them for almost 20 years. Known them for a long time. But yeah, as they're talking about a fire pit, if you look in the background of this card, it has fire there. So it is giving like kind of like this phoenix energy. I'm almost picking up like brought up like your love like I can't get the words out. Your love life is almost going to kind of like come up from the ashes is what I'm getting. And that's going to, I heard redirect. I feel like it's going to kind of be the thing that redirects you when it comes to, love. Now, I don't like to use the word finding love. I feel like love just kind of comes in when it's meant to at the right time, right? Divine timings. But I am getting this energy also, the wands here on the bottom. There was an energy of, in the recent past, that, you realized, you had to kind of set your sights higher. You realized whatever that situation or circumstance that you found yourself in before, you needed to move on from it, distance yourself from it. Some of you literally physically moved from that person, which is a good thing. This allowed for you guys to kind of understand that you needed to find balance in partnerships. Yeah, and this is also prompting the healing journey. So we did see that energy of healing, and I mentioned it before, so we're seeing it again. So there's some confirmations there. What's going on currently for this particular group spirit? Those who picked that first emoji, the Cupid's heart, I mean Cupid's arrow heart. Tell us some more. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Okay, I like that so far. But let's see what's just, like what's surrounding that energy. Ooh, I like that a lot, actually. Yes, I like it because it's saying that there's going to be something more stable. The King of Cups is somebody who's stable. They're also pretty generous. They could be a little bit selfish at times too, but if they're operate, especially in a love rating, like if they're operating in their higher self, then they're usually a lot more generous. Um, and because they're grounded and more mature, they want something more stable and something more serious in romance. Um, Sometimes they're very like practical, so the emotion part kind of could be a little bit, kind of have to like nudge them a little bit, like to get that emotional intelligence part down, because we did see the King of Cups show up too. But I am feeling a good vibe from that. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so we have the Justice card. Let me just show you guys what I'm seeing, so y'all don't think I'm just making shit up. On the top of the deck, we have the Justice. So it's giving me like, it's fated to happen like this, right? Two of Cups, partnership, romance, love it. I love love. We also have Page of Wands, so it's great communication. As there's a sense of enthusiasm. That's some nice energy right there. Um, I do feel like there might be like a little bit of an internal battle though, like when it comes to like how to move about this. Whoa, holy shit! I split the deck because I was about to say I was picking up a little bit of contention too for some reason, and I think that's a more internal battle. But look, when I split the deck, look who came out together. It's a match. That was in the middle of the deck. But I also saw like the Five of Wands, so I do feel like there's like an internal battle going on, because that's like kind of a little bit of a hidden energy. And it's like, okay, well, it's kind of given like just be mindful, right? Don't let, your past be the thing that dictates what happens in your future, because you can lose out on really good opportunities. It's fated to happen this way. So don't be afraid to take that leap when it happens, when it comes through. I'm getting for some of you, this is like happening already, like current, like very, very current, or it's going to happen in the near future. Ooh, and the Empress. Oh shit! Not sure if y'all trying to have babies or not, but if you if you're trying to have if you're not trying to have a baby, be careful. We did see a lot of that passion and everything, right? So just be mindful. Um, Tell us more. What's the likely outcome? Where's the most accurate message with that spirit? What is the likely outcome? Ooh, I like this. Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles here. That's like being really, first off, they want you to be patient. Second off, I'm getting like, I heard hard at work, so I do feel like you guys have been working really hard on yourselves to get to this point, of finding, again, I don't really like the term finding love, but welcoming love in, right? I'm so annoyed with my hair right now, because like the back of my head is hot, and my neck, and I'm like, I don't want to wear my hair down, but I can't get a good ponytail to save my life because it's too much hair, and the scrunchie's not big enough, so now the hair keeps falling down in the back, and it's annoying. But don't worry, don't mind me complaining about stupid stuff. It came out along with the Ace of Wands, so I do like that energy for you guys who picked this, because that's about new passionate beginnings, and we saw passion show up multiple times throughout this reading. So we're getting that energy a lot, and I do think that you guys worked really hard to get to this point. So, and I feel like whoever you're attracting, they've also done the same thing. So I really, really, really like that energy for you guys. We have the King of Swords. I heard truth be told. So there could be something about, really using your voice, and maybe this person as well, being very vocal about, remember I was saying, I have a feeling this person might be a little bit pragmatic sometimes, and they might have a hard time expressing their feelings, or it could be you, it could be both. So being able to understand, not you know, to bottle up feelings too much, right? Um, it's one of those things. It's hard because it's like if you've been through a lot, which most of us have been, right? Opening up to love again and to a person who you don't really know that well and stuff are like yet and all that. It's a challenge, right? Yeah, because you could be worried about them being deceptive and things like that. But I am getting like just use your logic, right? If it if there are red flags, then you know to jump ship. If it feels like it's going in the right direction and it seems genuine, pay attention to that as well. So I am getting that. There is an offer coming through possibly. We have Page of Pentacles. So there's good news here. And I'm getting that it's going to be something, like I said, something solid. I'm not getting like, something that's going to be wishy-washy. I'm getting something that's actually going to have real meaning to it. I like that for you guys. Also, before I even do anything, um, I didn't even shuffle yet, but we have enduring patience here on the bottom. Just saying, that's before I even shuffled. So, remember I was saying there's the sense of patience that's involved here as well. Just waiting for the, the right opportunity. Um, Boundless. Look at that. This, as I'm trying to shuffle, this is the only one that just flipped up randomly. I'm going to show y'all. I'm sure you kind of heard it when it flipped. It says boundless affection. I'm going to put it back in the deck, but I'm just going to read this real quick because it seems like it wanted to, make itself known. Express boundless affection through physical touch and verbal affirmations. Remember, it says something about throat chakra kind of energy. Hold hands, hug often, and tell your partner how much you love and appreciate them. So we're going to, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna shuffle a few more times, and then that'll be like I'm gonna pull one card, and it's gonna be for like each group, just as like a final piece of advice, and then move on to the next one from there. All right, Spirit. So let's get one last message for the first group, and they're gonna move on to the healing heart. Those who picked the healing heart. All right. One more shuffle. Alright. One message for this group, Spirit. One last message, I should say. I haven't used these on the channel yet, by the way. We have Grateful Heart here. Passion, sorry. Passion is a big part of this reading, I'm telling you. But it says, practice gratitude daily by appreciating your partner. Acknowledge their efforts. Thank them for their love and express how much they mean to you. So if expression, which we already kind of talked about, is one of those, points that kind of can be a little bit wonky for you or for, your upcoming person, just know that, expressing gratitude, it goes a long way. It helps carry the relationship on. So I do feel like there's going to be something positive here once you kind of allow for whatever happened in the past to stay there and, remain there. Don't let that come in messing up your flow now. It has nothing to do with who you are right now at this moment. You've been growing, you've been expanding. You're welcoming in something that looks pretty fucking solid here. So kudos to you guys. I like to see that energy. I like to see growth, because like I said, these readings are not always going to be rainbows and butterflies and shit. I'm not going to blow smoke. Like if there's warnings and stuff, I'm going to give you that too. Whatever Spirit is telling me to let you guys know, you know what I mean? But this looks pretty damn solid. I'm going to tell you that right now. We have empowering love on the bottom. Empower your partner by encouraging their personal growth, exactly. Celebrate their achievements, support their endeavors, and offer constructive feedback when needed. I like that. Remember I was saying like something about being pragmatic and expressive verbally and stuff like that. So we get some, some solid um, confirmations here, I would say. So with all that said, that was the first group. That was the Cupid's Arrow group right there. I hope that you guys enjoyed your reading if you picked that one. And if you resonated with it, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be doing these kind of readings more frequently as I, get some things situated and stuff like that. Sometimes I go on little hiatus to take mental breaks and things like that, but I do try to still show up and show out for y'all. And when I do, I'm very, very much present. So, like I said, I hope that you guys enjoyed that particular reading if you resonated with it. Keep in mind, energy is fluid and things like that. So if you picked an emoji and you're like, I already feel like that's my story, you could check out the other ones too as they're posted up and, see if those resonate with you more. Sometimes there could be more than one reading that resonates with you. So you shall see. So with that said, we're going to move on to the next one. Um, let's burn a little bit of sage just to kind of get rid of that old energy. Move into the new. I usually use like a singing bowl or a bell, but I don't feel like getting up to do all of that. Lazy. All right, let's release that energy back to that group and open up the new energy for the next group. All right, let's get started. All right, so on the first reading, what deck we used to start out was the Romance Angels. That's a throwback for me. That was I think it was the first or second deck that I ever purchased years ago. Um, Now we're gonna do the Love Vibes deck here. I don't think I've used these on the channel yet. I didn't. Look at that, using a couple of different decks on here that I've never used. Some of these are relatively new. Alright, so let's get started for the second group. And let me write down the timestamp so I don't forget. What time are we looking at? 27:05. Alright, group 2, aka the Healing Heart. Let's get started. Spirit, only let positive energy into this reading for those who picked the second group or the Healing Heart emoji. Show them what they need to see at this time for their highest good, clearest, and most accurate messages, please and thank you. Let's get started. Okay, interesting. We have no strings attached. It starts with no strings, but even the most casual ties can tangle fast when the boundaries get blurred. Interesting. And then also came out with along with make a move. It says swipe, speak, show up. Whatever your move is, now's the time to make it. Waiting won't align you. Action will. Interesting. So this is very interesting. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but for some of you, this could be more like just play, and it might turn into something else. I'm not sure. And if that's not what you're looking for, then maybe it's a caution, like be mindful of people who might have that energy, and that's not what you want. Question mark? Interesting. Or maybe that's what you've attracted a lot in the past. I'm not sure yet. But we're gonna dive deeper. Let's see what's going on with this group. Couple more shuffles. One more for good measure. Why not? Alright, let's get started. Family echoes here on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. Old family patterns may be playing out in your love life. Until these echoes are healed, hence the healing heart. How interesting is that? They'll keep repeating through new faces. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm wondering if it's also maybe saying that that's a pattern that you've had in the past where it was a lot of just like hookup energy. I'm getting something possibly like that. Let me know if it resonates in the comments. And maybe, you're trying to move past that. Maybe it's something that you saw a lot of when you were growing up or something like that. I can say when it comes to my family, a lot of Rolling Stones up in mine. I'll tell you that right now. One of my uncles, oh my God, he was just slinging everything around. And I'm just like, oh my God, how many kids did this nigga have out of wedlock? Different person. But, who am I to judge, right? But, his son broke that pattern. I mean, he was like that too for a bit, and now he's married and happy, and he had a baby. I'm just like, look at you, you grew up. I won't say his name. um, but he's grown a lot. But he was a lot like his dad, and then he realized that's not who he wanted to be like. So, you know, it could be something similar to that for some of you. Again, let me know if that resonates at all. Happy family. You're creating or aligning with a family dynamic that's grounded in peace and mature care. This is the kind of home that can heal generational wounds. So I'm telling you, that is the case for somebody. Wow. So it is for somebody, and it's just the crazy part is I just kind of went with what emojis I felt connected to, and then I picked the oracle cards based off of that. But the fact that this is lining up very, very well with that particular emoji just makes a lot of sense to me. Rand, don't start. My cat. Every time everybody goes out of their room, she wants to like go in their rooms. Like the whole house does not belong to you, Rand. Have all this free space, and you want to go in every space that you can get to, even when you're not supposed to be there. She's a piece of work. But anyway, back to the reading. Let's get a couple more from here. Wow, this is so interesting. I do see, I think we have, I don't have my glasses on. Is that Philia? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. This is just, thank you for subscribing, and hopefully you still stick around. This is actually a Pick-An-Emoji. So if you would like to, right now I'm doing the healing heart one, which is the emoji in the middle there. I'm working on that one right now. So if you want to stick around, you can. If you're, if it's a different emoji that you feel connected to, and want to check it out a later time, you can also do that as well. I do plan on putting timestamps so that you can always come back and watch at your leisure whenever you're up to it, so on and so forth. Got another new subscriber. Hello, hello. Kasia, I think is how you say your name. Pretty name. All right. Let's get a couple more from here before we dive into the tarot portion. This is, like I said, this is a pretty new deck, so the energy is like, you know, a little bit slower. A little bit slower. Breaking up, whether it's official or emotional, a breakup has happened. What once held you together can no longer hold your growth. I saw so many yeah, she is definitely a tortie. I remember you said that. I was like, tortitude. She definitely got that tortitude. I love her for that though. She's so cute. My baby. I think she's an Aries too, because I don't know exactly when she was born, but she's either an Aries or a Taurus, so no wonder she has that personality on top of that. But yeah, so there's definitely this, you know, this energy of getting over past, you know, breakups and things like that. I heard breakup to makeup, so that could be another thing that was common in some past relationships for you. A lot of that back and forth, you know, never knowing, you know, hi Ren, never knowing, you know, what was going to happen from like one day to the next, you know, emotional unavailability and things like. I'm getting a few different scenarios there. Again, if this is resonating with you guys, let me know in the comments. But I'm definitely getting like breaking patterns for sure. That's the big thing that I'm picking up on, breaking patterns. So let's see. Let's get one more from here. Thank you. Make a move is here again. Yeah, so make a move. Along with unspoken feelings. You're not imagining the undercurrent. There's an emotional charge here that no one's fully naming yet. So for some of you, there could be already somebody kind of in your energy that you kind of have a thing for, or they have a thing for you and just haven't really communicated that yet. Interesting. The plot thickens a little bit, right? Secret admirer. There's I don't know why I got like super giddy. Like I'm like getting all like super giddy. Like I'm getting like when I'm not sure who has like I'm getting like a crush. Like whoever has the crush, like when they see you or when you see them, it's like oh, it's like that Fantasia song. When I see you, when I see you. Um, Kasia, this is a pick an emoji reading, so I'm not answering personal questions right now, love. So you can pick an emoji. You can stick around for when that reading comes up. Right now, we're working on the healing heart one, and then we'll do the swirly hearts last. I already did the first one with the Cupid's arrow. So if you wanted to like rewind back, if you feel like that might be your reading, that you connect to that, you can check that out. And if not, then you could continue to watch this particular reading and see if it resonates, or you could watch the other one later when I post that up, or once this one's over, I should say. And I'm gonna post all of them with timestamps when I finish as well. But yeah, I'm getting like this giddy feeling, like I'm getting that song by Fantasia. When I see you, when I see you. Um, like you see them walk by, or they see you walk by, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm getting like the dreamy googly eyes kind of thing. That's so cute. Okay. It says there's someone in your orbit who's totally into you, but they haven't found the nerve to make a move. Make a move. Make a move. Come on now. Hey, drama. Drama, drama. Um, aligned future. I like this. The connection feels solid because you're both facing the same direction. This is a partnership with purpose. Okay, I like that. I like that. I'm just gonna pick one more from here because I feel really connected to this. Like the other one felt really good too. They're all gonna have that those different vibes to them. But something about this one, this is like really giving like, you guys have been doing a lot of work. So like even the first group might end up resonating with some of this too. It's almost like a continuation of that in a way. It's like, breaking those different patterns and stuff as you work on your healing process, right? And then all of a sudden stuff just starts to happen and shift and change. You're gonna be like, when did this happen? Where's this coming from? um, yes, really nice though. I like this energy. All right, let's get one more from here, and then we're gonna look into the tarot. It's like that new. You know what's funny? This deck is new that we're pulling from, and the deck that I felt connected to use for your tarot portion is also relatively new. I've literally only used it less than a handful of times since I've gotten them. I got them years ago, but I don't use them much. So it's giving me like that new, and I like that. um, yeah, got new. Let's get one more from here. Toxic talk. The way you're speaking to each other is causing harm, not healing. Words have energy, and right now, you're wounding. So, what I'm kind of getting here is this energy of that could be like more of a past thing. I feel like that might be something that you saw a lot in past relationships. Remember, we were talking about like a healing of like even family dynamics and stuff like that. So, let's say you grew up in a family where there was a lot of arguing and that kind of thing. This is something that I feel you're burying, you're working on that. And I feel like the person that's coming towards you, they might have been through something similar. So there could be a familiarity there where you guys can, I don't want to say trauma bond, not trauma bond, but maybe can talk about, what your experiences were like, and, how it impacted you, but how you persevered through that and you moved forward. Be careful. This seems like a warning. Be careful of trauma bonding and trauma dumping. We don't want to put our wounds onto other people, right? That's not their job to fix that or heal that. That's our own job, our own duty. Now, it's nice when you have somebody who, acknowledges the fact that you have these things and you're working on them and so on and so forth, and they support you through it, but don't expect them to fix it, and vice versa. We're not doing the fixer upper shit anymore, right? I'm gonna say we because I feel like I resonate with that, and if any of you guys have been in that pattern too, you might understand as well. So yeah, that's something we're not gonna do, right? We're not doing that. Travel partner on the bottom. You found somebody who travels at your pace. I like that. There's harmony in the way you navigate the world together. You see what I'm saying? Together, right? The sense of togetherness. That I like a lot. I like that a lot. Like I said, the second, I mean, the first group might resonate with this reading too. I feel like it's kind of a continuation in a way. So, again, let me know in the comments if this is your story and if it's making sense. Because, like I said, right now, I feel like there's a great energy in this reading. The other one too, like I said, but yeah, when I split the deck here, we have the moon, which could be about like fears and anxieties and things that are kind of like below the surface, along with the two of swords in the reverse. So that's about decisions that are hard to make, and it could be because I do feel like you guys are starting to see things more clearly. Like that blindfold is coming off, right? And it allows for you to see things more clearly as you make decisions moving forward. And some of the things that could have been blinding your judgment a little bit or your vision when it comes to moving forward and making these decisions could be the fears and anxieties attached to things of the past. So as long as you're not allowing those things to take over too much, I'm getting some of you guys might also have had mommy issues. Let me know if that resonates, or your partner might have had mommy issues. um, Let me know if that resonates. But yeah, again, we're not going to bleed onto the people who did nothing to us, right? We have to work on that healing process and understand we don't bring that extra baggage to the relationship. um, you picked the swirly hearts. Nope. But that's the last one. And I'm almost done with this reading. I'm about to do the tarot portion, and then after the tarot portion, this will be over, and then I'll be doing that reading. If you want to come back, you can. If you want to stick around, that's also cool. It's up to you. All right, let's see what we got. High Priestess. So that's like about inner knowing, right? About really good intuition. Some of you guys might have spiritual gifts yourselves. I mean, technically, we all do. It's just about if we decide to tap into it or not and fine tune them. Um, so on and so forth. But I'm getting something about intuition mostly, like really following your intuition, right? Following where you're being led and guided, and listening to that inner knowing that you have when it comes to your circumstances, right? Because of the things you've already endured, the things you've witnessed, so on and so forth. I'm definitely getting this energy of like internal, like, well, we saw something about a compass, didn't we? We did. Yeah, that's why I keep getting like this something about guidance, like you're being guided along the way. And they're like basically also saying like trust that internal compass as well, because it's guiding you in the right direction as you work on yourself and as you heal. That's what I'm getting. All right, let's do a same kind of lineup as before. We'll do the recent, past, current, and incoming, and then a piece of advice to close out. All right, so we have 6 of Pentacles here as the recent past energy. So what I'm kind of getting with that is that's about fairness. It's also about equal give and take in relationships. But if it's not in the, how can I put it? It's in the upright here, obviously, but I'm also kind of getting that, there is that sense of maybe overgiving. So if you are one of those people who you tend to overgive in relationships, um, that sense of reciprocity, might be a big part of what you've been learning. Understanding the importance of equal give and take in relationships. Like if you feel like you're constantly the one bending backwards for the next person to make them happy, red flag, right? So hence why I feel like there could be a connection to that first reading too. But yeah, just being a little bit more mindful of how you expend your energy is kind of what I'm getting here. Tell us more. What's the current? Thank you. Ooh, I like that. Success and victory with the 6 of Wands here. I like that a lot. I looked up at 4444. Remember, I said something about feeling that energy earlier, and Now it showed up again. um, yeah, so success and victory, right? I'm also getting recognition of, your sense of growth, recognition of, your partner, and vice versa. Being able to, whoever this person coming in is, they recognize your greatness. There's a reason why there's this big crush and stuff happening. It's like, or it might happen in the near future. Like, there is that energy of like, damn, it's not about that. Like, they recognize it, and maybe vice versa too. It's like, that's a great energy to be in, right? I'm also getting that they might recognize that they have to be patient with you, or vice versa, because of the fact that you might still be working on some things, some wounds and stuff like that. I did hear abandonment. I don't know if any of you guys dealt with like abandonment issues or something like that. Very common, especially when we're talking about family dynamics. Yeah, because we got Five of Pentacles and Five of Cups, so the number five might be important as well. It's giving me changes, but it's an ending, so it's also giving me yeah, that's the main thing I'm getting. Vibes. Change. But look, distancing yourself from it. Distancing yourself from it. Um, Seeing things with a new set of eyes as you work in a new direction. Now remember, we saw this card for the other group. That's why I keep saying some of you guys might want to check that one out later when I post this up. And even if you picked this particular emoji, that other reading could be very, very much in alignment with what is happening here as well, and vice versa. So, and what is the likely, Ren, stop it. What is the likely outcome? What is the likely outcome? See, we have someone, Samaya. That's a pretty name if that's how you say it. Thank you for being here, also as a new subscriber. This is not a personal message. This is a Pick-An-Emoji. So right now I'm working on the, if you look in the pinned comments, there are three emojis there. There's the Cupid's arrow heart, which I did that one already, and now we're working on the healing heart one. And I'm almost done with that. So if you feel connected to Ren, stop. If you feel connected to the swirly hearts, I was about to say, that's going to be the next reading, the final one. So if you want to stick around for that, you can. If you would like to come back after I post it up, you can watch it later. Up to you. But I am almost done with this reading, so I would say just stick around. But thank you for being here. Thank everybody who's 4747, as I said that. Thank everybody who's been tapping in. And hopefully you've been enjoying the messages and it's resonating. Look at that. The likely outcome. So we have kind of where we started off. We have that Two of Swords. I almost said Two of Wands. Two of Swords in the reverse. Remember I was talking about, with it being in the reverse like that, that means that you're seeing things more clearly. The decision is still hard to do certain things. However, you are seeing things more clearly, right? And I'm also getting like seeing past your fears and anxieties with that moon energy there. You know what I mean? Because I also pay attention to imagery when I read. And your emotions that could kind of also cloud judgment sometimes, right? When we're really attached to certain things. And there's another reason why I brought the word attachment. I'll show you in a second. When we start to realize what certain negative attachments have in our life, like the impact that it can make, it does make it easier to make the decision. Doesn't necessarily make it the easiest decision in the world, but it does help us see things a little bit differently and with a new lens. And I say that about attachment because of the fact that we have the devil in reverse. So that is about letting go of toxicities. And this is a choice that you guys are, taking on your own accord here, especially like with toxic talk. Like I said, I was getting that for some of you might have had like that type of relationship where just a lot of negative back and forth and stuff like that, a lot of stuff involving repeating past familial patterns and stuff like that. I definitely was picking up on like player energy for some. Either you were the player or you've accepted that type of energy into your life, and learning how to kind of separate yourself from those things. So the overall energy that we're seeing here looks really good. Um, and there does seem to be like a little crush or something that somebody might have. Ooh, we have the King of Wands here, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. Let's see what's underneath that King of Wands though. I don't always trust that nigga. In this case, I actually think this is not a bad thing. I think this is just somebody who's very, yeah. They could be a fire sign possibly. They might have Leo in their chart is what I'm getting. Um, yeah, Ace of Wands. I'm also getting. Just gonna be honest with you. The sex with this person might be really good. Just saying, and there ain't nothing wrong with. Oh, they could be a Sagittarius too, Temperance. Yeah. So I'm getting like this energy of like, don't let your emotions and stuff like that from the past, block you when it comes to where you're headed, right? There's clearly a new energy coming through and it looks really good. So, let's keep our mind in the positive, right? Let's not focus on the negatives, especially as you've been working on yourself and, rebuilding and working on, not repeating, family patterns and things like that. Hi, how are you? Miss Wonderful. All right, guys. So I'm going to give you a last piece of advice from Spirit. And then that will be the end of that particular reading. And then we're going to move on to the last one. Hi, Shani. How are you? And I'm pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good today. It's Saturday. I'm on break from my main job. I'm an assistant teacher. And our break started yesterday. I got out of that building so goddamn fast. I love my students, but man, it's been a long time coming. I'm so happy the school year's almost. All the teachers feel the same way, trust me. We love what we do, trust me. But, we need a break. Especially working in our particular field. Like, getting beat up every day. It's like, oh my God. I get called a bitch, like, literally all the time. So it's like, I'm like, tell me something I don't know, let me stop. But anyway, I still love my kids, though. I wouldn't trade them in for anything in the world. But, yeah, always like to add a little bit of humor when I talk about my job. But, yes, I'm going to enjoy this next week coming up. All right, so here on the bottom, we have Sacred Union. Honor your sacred union by committing to spiritual growth together. Meditate, pray, and practice yoga as a couple to deepen your spiritual connection. Interesting. Okay. I just heard tantric sex. Remember I said the sex is probably gonna be bomb. Uh, if you ever heard of if you don't know what tantric sex is, I would say look it up. It's about focusing more so on the connection between you and your partner versus achieving orgasm. Like you do have one or many, but they're like prolonged and stretched out, and it's some good stuff. I'm just saying. Just in case you don't know what it is, like I said, look it up. Tantric sex. It's a whole different level of intimacy. It's beyond that. It's definitely more spiritual than anything. It's a connection that you won't be able to achieve with just anybody, but apparently this connection looks like you might. We have compassionate connection. This is the advice card from Spirit right now. Build a compassionate connection by being kind and understanding. Show empathy. Offer support. We talked about that. And be a comforting presence for your partner. Come on now, Spirit. I love when there's confirmations at the end of a reading because we talked about that. Like, not the trauma bonding and trauma dumping, but actually supporting each other during the healing process, right? Very, very, very different than, dumping all your shit onto somebody. Like, that's not what you're doing, okay? And they also want you to have fun, right? Be playful. Keep a relationship playful by sharing fun and laughter. Play games, be silly together, and enjoy the lighter side of life to keep your bond strong. I really like that. That's so cute. All right. And like I said, I was feeling all giddy and stuff. Like, oh, this is so cute. I said that way earlier in that particular reading. So there's some confirmations there to close it out. Thank you, Spirit, for that. I do hope for those of you who did pick the healing heart emoji, I do hope that it resonated with you. I hope that, you know, you got a good message out of that that's going to be helpful. And if not, you can always check out the other readings too. So yeah, that was the end of the healing heart emoji, or that middle emoji there, the second group. So now we're going to move on to the last group, which is this, I call it the swirly heart crew. Every time I use those, I always say it, the swirly heart crew. So that is going to be the last message, and let's see what that timestamp is. 5520. 5520. All right, so I'm going to cleanse the space again, since I don't have my singing bowl next to me or my bell and I'm too lazy to get up. So we're going to use some fire energy instead to cleanse. Keep that energy nice and clear. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. All right, so we're going to move on to the last group. Like I said, this is now the Swirly Heart crew. And for those of you, if you picked one of the other groups and you didn't get to watch it because, you know, we are live. So like if, let's say, you came in a little bit later, you're like, ooh, I feel connected to the, you know, the Cupid's arrow heart or the healing heart. Or you just finished those, you can always rewind. When I post it up, I'll have the timestamps available for you guys, and you can watch it that way as well. You could, you know, choose to, you know, stick around for now and, you know, see if you get anything out of this one too. You never know. Sometimes these kind of readings, they sometimes piggyback off of each other, you know. So we shall see, right? All right. So when we split the deck for this group, we have mask, hiding true feelings, pretending and delude, gaslight and personify, along with mirror, mirroring each other, self-reflection, introspection, and inner wounds. So I'm kind of getting there could be an energy of hiding one's true self when it comes to like emotions or something like that. And maybe needing to do a little bit more inner work, I'm getting, possibly. We're going to look a little bit deeper into that. I have no idea where this is going yet, but that is interesting to start off with. More shuffles. This is another new deck. I've never used this on the channel before. I've had these for months, many months. I probably had it closer to a year now. Had these for a while, just never used them on here. I used them, I think, maybe once or twice on myself. So these are pretty new. All right, one more shuffle, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Shock. Sudden change, shocking news, surprise, and epiphany and transformation. So there could have been like a, you know, a transformative period of time that has brought on some major changes. And it could have come very suddenly, almost like a tower moment type of thing. I'm getting that you might resonate with the first reading. But let's see. You know, let's not jump the gun there. Messages for the last group, Spirit. Clearest and most accurate messages, please, and thank you. What do they need to know at this time for their highest good? Thank you. All right. We have key on a ring. Many options. Unconventional. One night stand and string along. Interesting. I hope it ain't trying to say that someone try to keep you as an option. We don't play that. Not on this channel. My collective don't play that shit. You are not going to be an option. It's giving Drake, I'm more than just an option. Hey, hey, hey. Refuse to be forgotten. Yeah. We ain't playing those games. Hammer. Stop. Hammer time. Sorry. Your audience, I'm sorry. For those of you who know, you know, and for those of you who are new, you're probably like, this girl's crazy. Just a little bit. It keeps the vibe going though. It keeps the momentum going. So we have sabotage and rebuild, persistent, working on it, and repairing. So A lot of piggyback and energy, right? We had that piggyback energy, in all of the readings that we've done so far. So a lot of you guys are kind of in the same boat. So some of you guys, you might want to even start this from the very beginning and watch all three of the readings and see which one you resonate with the most. Because it almost seems like it's like telling a story back to back. And that's with me cleansing. Y'all saw I used my sage and everything to kind of cleanse the energy. I use different decks for each group for a reason. So it could be new energy coming in and it's very similar. So a lot of you guys have been working on yourself, rebuilding after a period of, feeling, maybe a sense of loss or something like that, or, different things for everybody, right? For the second group, it was more like a sense of like familial patterns that are being broken and working on that. The first one was more about, it seemed like it was, you know, a past love that, that particular group was getting past and over and welcoming in new love. So it does seem like that's the case for a lot of you guys already. Ooh, what we got? Poker face. Taking a chance, risks, and options, not showing hand, and gambling. Kind of goes back to like that key on the ring kind of energy, right? So somebody might be playing in your face, and that's one thing we're not going to allow. Or this could be, something that already happened. Grounding, stability and security, performance, growth and endurance. So this is something that could be something that you've already endured. Twin flames. I'm getting false twin though, to be honest with you. Yin and yang, and balance. Union and duality, complement, polar opposites. Interesting. Another look at that. Love call, expressing love, messages of love, thinking of you, and informing you. Interesting. What's underneath this twin flames card? I might pull one more card from here for shits and giggles. Engagement ring. Higher commitment, eternity, partnership, union, and completion. Ooh. Self-indulgence. Self-worth and value, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. It's given like as you work on yourself, just like the other two readings, you're going to welcome in something worthwhile. For some of you, this could be a twin flame. For others of you, you could have dealt with somebody you thought was a twin flame and realized that they were not. I'm getting false twin, possibly, or karmic. Let's get one more from here. And then we're going to look into the tarot. Ooh, excuse me. Two cards out starting out. Yeah, you definitely dealt with a false twin. Yeah, you did. Mirror is out again. Mirroring each other, self-reflection, introspection, inner wounds. This is recent past energy. The runner is here. Runner-chaser dynamic. Fear of intimacy, running away, intensity and letting go, turmoil and fleeting. I feel like you dealt with... Okay, I'm getting a couple messages. Actually, I'm getting 3 different messages. One message that I'm getting is you could have been dealing with a twin flame who just isn't in their higher vibrational self. And that could be why that runner-chaser dynamic is coming through. But if this is something that has put you through the ringer, like a lot of emotional pain, a true twin flame journey, don't let them fucking tell you otherwise, because this is something that I think a lot of people get wrong. A twin flame journey is not meant to hurt you. That's a karmic. That's something that will hurt. It's going to be something that's fleeting and quick, and it's as quick as it started, it ended. It's going to feel kind of like a twin flame journey. I will tell you that. In the beginning, as the fucking stage all of a sudden started smoking a little bit, I don't know if you guys can see the smoke. Hey, she is. Hey, girl. Hey. What's up, girl? That's one of my sisters in the building. Check her out. She is an amazing reader, and she does all kind of other stuff, podcasts, all kind of cool things. Check her out for the show. Love that girl. But yeah, so one of the things that tends to get confused a lot when it comes to the spiritual community and readers and all that is this whole glamorizing the twin flame journey, because that shit is not for the weak, one. And two, This whole energy that like, oh, you know, they're gonna hurt you and it's gonna help build you up and then you're gonna get back to, no, it doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. You will mirror each other and you're going to mirror back to each other what it is that you need to be working on. That's why I'm getting possible twin flame. And that part will um it will be kind of hard. There will be growth and things like that, and there will be, you know, contention and things like that, but it's not meant to hurt you. Hey, blessings. I love when my people start popping in. I love that there's been some new people coming in as well throughout this reading. And then I got some of the people who are a part of my soul tribe coming in too. Welcome, guys. I love y'all. So grateful for each and every one of you guys who have popped in, even if it's just for a moment. But yeah, so again, I think that the twin flame journey gets very glamorized, and that's the thing. Like, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, don't speak on it. Okay. There's supposed to be growth involved in a twin flame journey, and then possibly you could come back together. You know what I mean? That's the thing that people don't seem to understand. It's not, oh, you know, I'm with a narcissist and then we're gonna get back to, no, they're not a fucking narc. If they're a narc, then that's a karmic. Sorry to inform you, but like, you know, people get that confused a lot, and they're like, oh, is this like, they're, you know, they've hurt me so much, and you know, I feel like I'm supposed to be with them because it's so much passion. Yeah, it's passion because it's fucking sex, and the sex is good. They got devil dick and devil pussy energy. Sorry, if you don't like cuss words, then this is not the channel for you. Just saying, we're grown. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say what I'll say because I'm not sugarcoating nothing on this damn channel. So I'm happy this is the last one, to be honest with you, because now I could, you know, I don't have nobody after, right? So I could, you know, I could get things out and, you know, really say it the way that it needs to be said. You know, say it like you mean it, shout it out. So yeah, exactly. A lot of miseducation, right? Misinformation being spread. So the reason why I think I'm picking up on this, I think there is some kind of confusion when it comes to what it is that this person was to you. And I am getting that for some of you, it could be more of a karmic, right? Because now we know the difference between a karmic and a false twin. Or well, karmics are false twins, technically. They're the same shit. And then you have your actual twin, right? Those energies are going to feel very similar at first until you start to realize one of those connections, or you could say two, like I said, that karmic slash false twin, that shit hurts. It does not feel good. It feels good at first, and then you realize, whoa, what the hell is this bullshit? And it's not good. It's not positive. It's not. It will. You will grow from it in the sense of you have to grow on your own. It's meant to teach you a lesson, hence the word karmic. But your actual twin, you are the same soul that was split up. That's a whole different conversation. So that's why when you meet them, you'll feel a very strong connection, and you might scare each other a little bit because I'll be like, whoa, it's way too familiar. And it's because that person's meant to mirror what it is about themselves that they need to work on, and vice versa. And that's where that runner chaser dynamic might come in, because one person is usually a little bit more evolved than the other. So I am picking up on this energy here. But I'm more so getting that you're about to attract that person, the twin. That's what I'm getting. Can't pick it up even if you wanted. That's the card that actually showed up along with the mirror card. And what's on the bottom? Did I not say something about runner chaser dynamics? Crazy. Bottom of the deck, it says fear of abandonment, chasing codependencies. Exactly. And that's why that mirror energy is there, because you might be mirroring each other, or saying that this is a time to do a lot of inner reflecting, right? Introspection. Dates on the top. Get back out there, meeting someone new, setting a date, and date online. Interesting. Middle of the deck, we have ship. Cutting ties, moving on, receive what you need, progression, and arriving. So what I'm really getting right now is, this is an energy of what I'm picking up right now. This is an energy of people who have dealt with karmics already, went, you know, Hey God's baby, hi, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to stick around. This isn't personal questions though, love. This is actually just a pick an emoji. So right now I'm actually on the last group, which I call the swirly heart crew. So I already did the first one, which was the Cupid's arrow heart, and I also did the healing heart already. So if you want, you can either rewind it or you can stick around, see if you connect with this particular reading, and you could also come back another time, like a little bit later when I post this up, and I'll have timestamps, and then you could go to what you feel more drawn to. But a lot of these kind of piggyback off of each other, so you never know. Good, you can watch all of them. But yeah, so like I said, I'm getting for this group. This is the group that probably dealt with a lot of karmics and shit like that, and now they're about to attract or welcome in a twin flame possibly. And I don't use that term very loosely. I use that with a great sense of seriousness because I do believe in twin flames, but I think that the way that a lot of us have been kind of misinformed, myself included, about what a true twin flame is and what the journey is supposed to look like, I'm making sure that I reiterate, you know, and emphasize, that it should not put you in this place. If it puts you in a place of heartbreak and disappointment and cheating and lying and deception and all, like, no, that's not a twin flame journey. Sorry, love, it's not. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, because that's a fucking lie. They're meant to, like I said, they're meant to reflect back to you the things you need to work on in yourself and vice versa. And then that part could cause a little bit of that runner chaser kind of thing a little bit. However, However, hey, New Moon, how are you? Um, on the flip side of all of that, once you are both vibrating at your higher selves, that's usually when you are able to come together. And that's a very, very hard connection. It is. Again, people, glamorize it so much. It's not an easy connection to be completely honored, to be completely honest with you. That was weird. I said honor. Honor thyself is kind of what I'm getting, especially with Nine of Cups. It's about your own wish fulfillment, satisfaction. Interesting. What I was trying to say is, whoa, I just lost it. Where did it go? Come back, come back. I know I was gonna say something about honesty. I completely lost where I was going with that. Maybe Spirit had something more important for me to say. I guess this is really going to the honoring yourself, what makes you happy. Wow. They're like, don't worry about all the other stuff. That's important too, but honoring your own overall happiness is more important. Remember, I'm just a vessel. I deliver the messages as they come, and Spirit was like, basically like that. I'm like, oh, okay. But, honesty is obviously important about something, but yeah, very interesting. I just know, like, just kind of reflecting, I know that I need to, make sure I'm making you guys understand or helping you guys understand what it is that you're not going to allow and accept, because Spirit wants you guys to move at a higher frequency. And that means letting go of the things that you were taught that don't make sense, right? The things that are incorrect, misinformation is what I'm getting. Those things that brought you down, sabotaged your growth, and allowing those things to kind of fall to the wayside is what I'm kind of getting. Interesting. Well, hopefully you stick around. Hopefully this message is making sense so far for you, being that I am on the emoji that you picked. Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you so much, love. Got a lot of queens and kings amongst us in this tribe that we are creating over here, Like I said, I love and appreciate all of you guys so very much. Especially how patient you guys are with me, because I know, like, I'll do so good for weeks at a time, like being out here frequently and all that, and then sometimes I have to take time to myself to get my mind right, get spiritually right, and things like that. So I greatly appreciate you guys for, being on the journey. All right, so we have Five of Swords here on the bottom of the deck. Manipulation, as we were talking about honesty, right? Somebody like this, that energy is not honest at all. They play mind games and shit like that. They keep you feeling stuck and stagnant. Sometimes you gotta pick up the pieces and keep it moving, baby, and walk away. Don't stay where you're not welcome. But this is fate. Either way, it's meant to happen like this. So even like if it is a karmic situation that you removed yourself from, it's fated to happen that way for a reason, because you're meant to learn a lesson, or you're meant to grow. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what, like, I kept hearing honest, like maybe taking that honest look in the mirror, right? When you're going through those ebbs and flows with if it is a twin flame connection, you know what I mean? Being able to take that honest take at yourself and say, you know what? I got some work to do. You know what I mean? I'm getting something like that. The world, closure, successful completion. Oh shit, got the Wheel of Fortune and that. Oh shit, come on now. Come on with this thing. um, but yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling for the most part better. Like I said, it's ebbs and flows, right? You know what I mean? Um, but in general, I'm starting to feel a little bit more like myself, just in general. I'm trying to get my health in order and stuff like that, and eating better, stuff like that. So, I gotta get this right too. Some of you guys might resonate with that. All right, let's get the recent past, Spirit, for our last group here, the Hermits. The Hermits. The Hermits. So you guys have, where's that card? Self-introspection, right? With that mirror, right? Taking that deep look within right now. Doing a lot of inner work. Spending time with yourself as you rebuild. And it could be a little bit lonely. I just heard one is the loneliest number. Temperance. Nice. I'm also kind of getting like a sense of being patient with yourself throughout the journey, because it is a journey, right? Being patient and recognizing that, this is a time to find a sense of peace and harmony within yourself. The more in tune you feel with yourself when it comes to that, the more likely it is that you'll be able to welcome in whoever this new person is, who could be your real twin, possibly, or at least a soulmate. I feel like that's one of the things I was going to try to say earlier, when all of a sudden Spirit was like, that's funny. They're like, nix it. But maybe that's where I was going with what I was trying to say. I do feel like that might have been one of the messages I was getting, and then like they said, like move on from it. But it's coming back now, so I'm going to say it. I personally think that soulmate connections are a little bit better, because there's no drama in a soulmate connection. Like, it's literally all about growth. Whereas you got to go through some things, right? Some drama and stuff sometimes, or really really do a lot of that deep inner work that nobody really wants to do, but we need to do, regardless. But with soulmates, like, the connection is already so positive and strong that, like, you don't have to do that. You just continue to grow together. I'd rather have that. And mind you, a soulmate could be in any form. A soulmate could be, you find people here who I've met. Oh my God, a new moon, girl. I just got goosebumps. I have been singing is it from The Wiz? I think it's from The Wiz. A song called Home. When I think of home, I think of a place with love overflowing. When I think of home, I wish I was back there. And I don't know all the words, but oh my God. And I forget who sings it. Oh my goodness. It's I have my computer next to me. I have to look it up. I have to look it up, because I swear to God, I kept singing that fucking song. I was like, I feel like that's like a channeled message. And then you said that. Diana Ross, right? That's what I was thinking. And then there's different versions of it too. But yeah, Diana Ross's version is obviously in the movie, and I oh, that's my voice. That sounded so weird. um, turn that off. And then who else redid it or did another version of it? I feel like it was like Stephanie Mills or something. But let me see. Um, um, Yep. So I want to say you were right too. Yep. Diana Ross did it, and then Stephanie Mills did it too. And that song, while I was getting ready, I sang it over like just the same part though over and like the like parts of the first verse over and over. I love that fucking song, and the fact that you said that, wow, girl, connected. See, this is what I'm talking about my soul tribe though, man. Y'all gifted too, and I said something about some gifted people in here a little while ago. You're one of them. That's so crazy. I love that song. I might have to listen to it when I get off of here. No, that song makes me teary eyed. um, wow, that's so wild. But yeah, yep, exactly. Like there's no place like home. Home is where the heart is, right? Mm, that's powerful. That's a powerful message right there. All right, tell us more for this last group here. I might do a if you guys feel so inclined to stick around a little bit longer, I might do a quick little collective message too, just to close it out. I like to do that when I do these. Um, what is the current energy? 10 of Wands. Burdened, right? But you're at the end of that burdensome phase, is what I'm getting. Um, it's interesting because like I'm looking at the other card that came out, the Hammer card, which was like about like rebuilding, and it's almost giving me like you're going to be able to take all of those, you know, that wood right there and like rebuild with that, right? Do something with it. And that was a weird analogy, but hear me out. Hear me out. There is a point here that I'm going with. I'm getting there. But yeah, I'm getting like taking all those pieces, you know, that were meant to break you and do something productive with it, right? I am getting this energy of being able to really transmute that energy and do something positive with it. You know, you're at the end of that. Although we've come to the end of the road. But we have the Nine of Cups here on the bottom. We saw that energy before too, right? That sense of wish fulfillment, you know? And this is a time for you to step into your selfishness too. I feel I'm getting people who have been quite the opposite. Very, you know, much there for everybody else and shit like that. Put, you know, carrying the weight of the world on your fucking shoulders all the time. You know, carrying relationships that, you know, aren't going anywhere. I'm getting something like that. And it's like, this is your time to step into this, okay? Okay, honey. Like, doing something for you. Yep. And it's going to allow for fast movement forward. I just heard the word trajectory. Eight of Wands. So, you know, it's about fast movement, right? And action. It can also represent physically moving for some. You know, let me know if that resonates with any of you. If any of you are thinking about moving, or doing like some type of like a road trip or something, let me know in the comments if that resonates with any of you. It's pretty cool. But yeah, you're moving on past the heartbreak and disappointments. Fuck that shit. You know, no more of that. Taking all of that and transmuting that energy. I love that for you. I definitely do. Tell us more. What's the likely outcome here? Again, I do hope that you guys have been resonating with these messages. And if you feel like the messages that, or yeah, the message that you picked wasn't really for you, check out the other ones. You never know. Sometimes, you know, with these Pick-An-Emoji, sometimes they piggyback off of each other, so you might resonate with all of them. Sometimes they're very different, and you're like, you pick one, you're like, not sure, and then you pick another one, and be like, no, that was my story. You know, it happens to me all the time too. So it's good to like try to really, you know, focus on the emojis or whatever, you know, pick a cards and all that type of stuff, and like be like, okay, I really feel connected to this one, and then go from there. Here, Spirit, thank you. Ooh, Knight of Cups, love offers. Ooh la la. So there is that cup of love coming in, you know. I'm getting that this person might be like her wordsmith. They might be very charming and expressive with their love language. That could be, I'm getting words of affirmation for some reason for somebody. I don't know if that's somebody who's watching. Maybe one of you guys might have that as your love language, words of affirmation. Um, and that might be something, or the person that's coming into your energy, they might be that person. Um, yeah, so I like that. I like that a lot. This person, I feel like they're gonna be, they might be creative. Like I'm getting like they might be like a writer. They might do like poetry and stuff like that, songwriting. Hmm. And they're talented in like a few different ways. I heard linguistics. Oh, that sounds fun. But anywho, oops, me being fresh. Seven of Pentacles. Like this is going to be worth the investment. They're gonna want to put in that effort into you, and vice versa. Seven of Pentacles. It's also giving me like seeing the fruit of your labor coming together. You know, you've been patient. You've been waiting patiently for, hey, Rennie Ren, for things to, you know, happen a certain way, and you know it might not always happen the way that you wanted it to, but it's about to start to shift because of the fact that you've been shifting and changing, right? You know, the Magician, things that you've been manifesting are about to come together. I like it. I have to figure out how to do that. I remember you guys had mentioned, you, I think it was you and Veronica, you guys were talking about that, and I haven't learned how to do it. I did look it up. It says supposed to do it automatically, but it doesn't do it for mine, even though I have the right amount of subscribers. I have to look into it again. And we have the Lovers. See, that represents twin flame journeys, or really, really high commitments when it comes to a soulmate or something along those lines. Nice. This is what you're welcoming in, guys. Like, this looks really, let's just get one more from the tarot, just for shits and giggles. Why not? I pulled extra cards for pretty much all the groups. But yeah, I feel connected to do so. Seven of Cups. So that kind of goes back to that earlier card we saw, Key on the Ring, which is about options. You guys might have options. Hey Jerry, how are you? Um, it does not automatically show up. Okay, I gotta look into it again. So I guess you know how AI don't be always having shit right. So I'm gonna look into it again and see if I can find out how to do it. Thank you for, but yeah, thank you guys for kind of informing me a little bit more about it. Because like I said, I don't really know, so I gotta look into it. But yeah, you guys might have options when it comes to love. And you gotta make sure you pick the right option though. No more karmics, right? You learned your lesson because of those karmics and false twins and shit like that. No, we're welcoming in the real deal Holyfield now. Fuck that shit. Because you already dealt with the mind games and manipulation and all that. No more of that. Don't let nobody trying to, you know, come in with that bullshit. Because look, you've moved on already. The Chariot. And there's something stuck to this card. What is this? Huh. Yeah. The cards were almost stuck together. Page of Cups. Little baby bullshit ass offers. No thank you. You moved on from that. Look how the cards came out. They're like, they were stuck together. And then that's how it was. They're like, nah, not the little baby ass offers. We got some more solid stuff coming in. And now mind you, like, even with the Knight of Cups, that's like a slightly smaller gesture, but it's still pretty genuine. You know what I mean? It's not a bullshit offer is what I'm getting. Like, it might start off as like saying, let's go out for a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? And go from there. It becomes like, you know, bigger, better dates and things like that, or just spending more time together and getting to know each other. They want you to use your discernment. See, there's a reason why Spirit wanted me to pull one more card. Queen of Swords shit right there. You ain't playing no games. Cut that nigga's head clean off. Fuck out of here with that. Yeah, so we're going to pull a final piece of advice for you guys from this deck here, the Soul Companion Oracle cards, which I actually really like these, because I like this deck because You know, it's not one of those messy decks where, because I like those two, don't get me wrong. I like to see all the messy shit, get some popcorn, you know, and be like the Michael Jackson Thriller meme. You know what I mean? Like, you know, be like, ooh, let's see the action. You know what I mean? The drama. I like this one because this is actually like trying to push you to see the positives of love coming towards you, and advice based off of that. So how to make relationships work and things like that, as long as it's a, you know, a good relationship, um, so on and so forth. So let's get that advice piece for you guys to close this out, and then like I said, I'm gonna probably close out the whole thing with just a bonus collective message, maybe just messages from spirit real quick, and see what they have to say to you guys, and then that will be the end. One more shuffle. She said, period, poop. Exactly. Interesting. We saw this energy for another reading. I think it was it for the last one or was it for the one before? To be honest, I don't remember. But it says, enduring patience. Cultivate patience by allowing each other to grow at your own pace. Be supportive during challenging times and remember that love flourishes with time and understanding. Here at the bottom. So, let's get one more card for you guys to close out. And like I said, then we're gonna. Ooh, I feel drawn to a deck over there. I'm gonna grab that. I like this a lot. Okay, we got two cards. Okay, so we have Harmonious Union. It says, create a harmonious union by working together as a team. Support each other's strengths. Balance each other's weaknesses and strive for unity. Nice. I like that. That's nice for some growth, right? And we also have loving kindness. Showing loving kindness through small acts of service. That was the other thing I was picking up on when I remember I was saying I was getting like someone's love language might be love. Sorry, words of affirmation. The other one I was gonna say was acts of service. I didn't say it. I wish I did, because now I just sound like I'm just making shit up. But no, I really did pick up on that too. But yeah, it says small acts of service: prepare a meal, run an errand, or offer a comforting gesture to show your partner that they are loved and appreciated. That is so cute. I love that. Damn it! I wish I would have said it. I was saying it in my head, but I didn't say it out loud. Damn it! I have to stop doing that, because then it shows up. Boundless trust. Cultivate boundless trust by being open and honest. Remember, we talked about honesty earlier. Share your thoughts and feelings without fear and trust your partner's intentions and actions. Yes, 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 yes. That was really nice, guys. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed those readings. For those of you who stuck around for the whole thing, thank you so much. Or, you know, even if you came back in and out throughout, greatly appreciate you. I do hope that you also have hit that like button, have subscribed, all that good stuff to help the channel. I also just wanted to, again, express my gratitude because you guys are fucking awesome. Don't let anybody tell you different. I am going to grab this deck over here. Hopefully my butt don't be all up in the camera. Yes, girl, I hear you on that. It's one of those, like, you're not letting nobody come in and disturb your peace, right? Fuck that shit. So I just picked up a couple of decks. We're going to do a quick little message to close out. Let me write a little time stamp for that, too. I almost said tramp stamp. I'm done with myself. 133, 53. Okay. Cool beans. All right, so got a couple of decks over here I'm gonna pull from. Let me just cleanse one more time. Those messages were really, really cool, man. I really feel like they all piggybacked off of each other too. It's almost like the momentum just kept building as we went along. So I do really feel like a lot of you guys are going to resonate with each reading, and not just one. So I would strongly urge you guys to come back and rewatch once I post these up. All right, friends. So let's start with these, which I have not used in a while. These are the where are they? Not Earth Angel. I forgot. I don't have the box anymore. I have other decks from this author though. I like these. I like their stuff. But there's definitely like Earth Angel energy in this, so I don't know why I feel connected. Maybe it's because some of my homegirls are in here, and you know, I know you guys are also very spiritual, and you know, your Earth Angels and things like that, and you know, so Spirit wanted me to pull from here. All right, so it says, I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Very interesting. So it's kind of giving, you know, you've kind of done this all before, right? In different realms, in different lifetimes, and you're here now in this lifetime, and you know, it's giving kind of like Akashic records, you know. When we tap into our Akashic records, then like all the knowledge is already infinite, it's in us already. Just about tapping into it. I've never drank a damn smoothie this damn slow in my life. All right, let's get like 3 from here. We have 3 cards that came out together. The Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, making your life a moving prayer. It came out along with loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Interesting. I think I have a message with that. And we also have Star Keepers, cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. Interesting. So you guys are like, again, like star seeds, light beings, all that stuff. Is what I'm kind of getting. Now I'm also getting, however, while that might be true, that card technically, that Star Keeper card came out in the reverse. So what I'm kind of getting is you guys have been having a hard time stepping into that part of your journey and who you are, that part of your identity, your purpose. And that could be because you might be having a hard time. This kind of goes back to what my girl Lati was saying in her her morning message this morning. It was a really good message, and some of you guys were there this morning. But yeah, she was talking about, you know, acceptance and being able to let the divine in, right? You know, we're divine beings ourselves, but sometimes we just need that little push, that little nudge to kind of, you know, help us carry the weight, help us, you know, navigate where we're going, where we're headed. So by being able to, you know, recognize that and look to the Most High for, you know, advice and surrender control a bit, right? That allows for us to be able to put, you know, action behind, you know, our prayers, and be able to do it and execute it with a sense of grace, with a sense of, I'm getting, seeing is believing is what I'm kind of picking up on. Like when you see things start to, you know, the things that you've been wanting to manifest start to shape and happen around you, you're like, whoa, that's pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? But sometimes it takes time for it to happen. And, you know, I'm kind of getting like allowing yourself to believe in what seems impossible. Interesting. And remember, it's a part of the plan, your soul's plan. What's this on the top? water your garden, in the reverse, meaning you gotta take care of yourself. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. So yeah, definitely making sure you're not overthinking. She talked about that in her reading too. Um, Allow yourself to just kind of, it's like giving, like, rest assured, everything will work out. Lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. Well, would you look at that? Hi, Michael. How are you? How is that for confirmations of what I literally just said? I said, you feel like you've done this before. It's because you have. You've been here already. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have all these spiritual gifts and things like that. And it's definitely giving like Akashic record kind of shit. I said that. So it's just about tapping into that. Sending love and light your way too. Thank you for being here. We're doing a closing message right now for the collective. And then after this message, that will be the end of the whole thing, and I'll post it up. Star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, and activation. So this is also a time of doing like maybe like a spiritual bath, right? To release anything that might be kind of holding you back, in a spiritual essence of things. I know I need to do a spiritual bath myself. It's been a while. So I'm kind of getting like your spiritual hygiene. That is a thing. Look it up. That is a thing. And hey Queen, how are you? Yeah, this is one of those kind of things where they're kind of calling you to look into that a little bit more. And that might be necessary in order to sever ties. We got the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love here on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. And spiritual baths are great for releasing, right, old energy. We got on the top. The courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. I think some of you guys are having a hard time really stepping into this role of your highest and truest self. And it could just be because of fears or anxieties or just things that need to kind of be shed at this time. All paths lead home. We talked about home earlier, right? Yeah, we sure enough did. A new moon had said something about no place like home, and I was saying, oh my God, what are the odds that literally for practically the whole time that I was getting, settled in to do the reading, getting everything settled, and I'm making myself my smoothie and all this stuff, and I was in the kitchen. That's when I actually started singing it. It was 4:44 at the time. I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be on in 1 minute. It's not happening. And I was singing it even before that, but like I just kept singing it like in a loop, the same part of the song over and over again. But yeah, it says all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Remember I said all the answers are already in you. You just have to allow yourself to wake up to it. Answer the call is what I'm getting. I wouldn't be shocked if that card would show up. Answer the call, because there is a card in here that says that. All right, let's get one more from here. We'll pick tarot message and then last piece of advice from spirit, and then that will be it, or an affirmation maybe, and that'll be it. Ooh, 2 cards. All right, we got. Actually, wait. How many cards is there? 3. 3. All right, so we have. Interest. It says Earth. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. So ironically, didn't she say, Lati? She was talking about how we are living in a human experience, but we're not of it. And she said that earlier. So it's crazy how like that kind of. I'm telling you, you might want to go check her out. Tears and Wheat Tarot show. One of my sisters. Her message was really powerful this morning, and a lot of the messages are. I did a message for myself at like 4, not even 4, like almost 4 o'clock this morning, and it was like so in line with everything she was saying. I was like, this is crazy. And like some of that energy is showing up even in this closing message right now. What else we got here? A new earth. Wow, we got earth, and then we have a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. It is happening. Allow it to be. Fall into my arms. Surrender to the divine. Surrender, holding the opposites and extremes of life. allowing yourself to fall into the arms of the most divine while you navigate this. Because it's, you know, being a star being and all that stuff, because I do believe in all that. You know, we have a mission here that we are meant to accomplish. We all have a mission, in my personal opinion. All of us. And those of us who are called to do certain things, our mission might be slightly harder sometimes, and we go through those challenges and, you know, the doubts and all that. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't understand what this is. What am I doing? And it's up to us to be able to, you know, really allow for the Most High, whatever you believe in, God, the universe, your ancestors, whatever you believe in, to be able to, you know, help navigate us throughout the process. So sometimes we're confused and we're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. But just know that even in this human experience that we're experiencing here right now, there is that inner knowledge, that inner knowing. You just gotta tap into it. Bottom of the deck we have, wow, a lot of Earth. What the hell? 3 cards about Earth. Earth, new Earth, and activated Earth. Power places, ley lines, and trust where you're led. Here on the bottom of the deck. What the fuck? Like, that's crazy. I'm getting like you guys need to get grounded. That might be one of the ways that you'll be able to really tap into this, because the more grounded that you feel and the more secure that you feel within yourself, the more you're able to be in alignment with the Most High. You know, when you're grounded, it allows for all those other chakras to become aligned as well. From the rooter to the tutor, okay? So yeah, and water your garden is here again, taking care of yourself. Middle of the deck we have portal. Doors are opening, you decide. Rewards, wild card. The doors are opening up for you. Why did I just Spirit, you guys are funny. I just heard Three's Company theme song. Come and knock on our door, come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you, we've been waiting for you. It's hers, it's hers, it's his. Three's Company too. Some of you guys might like that show. I love that show. I love that theme song. But yeah, that's so funny. Like, Spirit, you guys always love to add some comedic relief to my readings every time, every single time. All right. I feel drawn to these. My pink deck. I really like these. They're so pretty, so sparkly. 333. 3 is the magic number. And again, you guys know I'm quirky. I turn anything into a song. That's just what I do. All right, so let's get 3. I claim that it is my my clear audience, and it's also a little bit of neurodivergence. So, you know, get in where you can fit in. Is this your thing? I hope it is. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I know y'all probably like, this bitch is crazy. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have disharmony. We gotta work on that. The mismatch of different perspectives, ideas, or actions. Conflict between people, ideas, or elements. Here on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. So you guys might really be feeling a little bit, you know, off center, right? Off kilter. Yeah, we gotta work on that. We're gonna work on that together here as a collective. It could be like a segue into another message. But yeah, we're gonna work on that. 2 cards came out together. We have Devil, malicious intent, evil purposes, wicked actions leading to or falling into sin. Interesting. Along with End, the act of bringing an event, process, or period to a close, a state of being final with no continuation or progress. So you're putting an ending to the negative attachments and stuff that you might have had in your life, whether it's your own habits or people around you, the, you know, negative thought processes and self-talk. Like, I'm getting a whole bunch of different things, you know, habits, so on and so forth. Putting an end to those things, and really doing that inner work right now. Interesting. Yeah, those things are going to start really falling away, and that's going to allow for, you know, you to really get more, you know, in tune with who you are, where you're meant to be at in this part of the journey. You have Captive, being balanced, peaceful, and in harmony, right? Complete opposite of the disharmony card. You know, I heard why the cage bird sings. Interesting. Some of you guys might resonate with the idea of like nature sounds. That might be something that brings you some sense of peace. It does for me. I was listening to nature sounds all day today. I didn't turn on the TV for anything other than that. Like waves crashing going on in the background, and then I after that, and that was nice. And then I turned on rain sounds, and then after that I did like an aquarium with or it wasn't even an aquarium. It was like actual like undersea animals, like turtles and jellyfish, all kind of cool stuff with like really soft music playing in the background. It's really nice, very calming. That was me pretty much the whole day. Um, so I'm getting some of you guys might resonate with the idea of listening to nature sounds as a way to kind of calm you and soothe you. Um, Let me know if that resonates. Let's get one or two more from here. Loneliness. A deep sense of isolation, emotional emptiness, or a disconnection from others, even when surrounded by people. A longing for meaningful connection and understanding. So this part of the journey can be lonely, right? It's, you know, earlier I was like, one is the loneliest number. Like I was hearing that, and now we got that. Um, yes, being in that sense of isolation, right? It's not for the weak. You know, as humans, we're meant to be, you know, especially like I said, we're living in the human condition, right? So we have human experiences. So we are social creatures. We're meant to be around people. So when you're in that sense of isolation or loneliness, it's not really the most fun place to be. So we don't want to stay there too long, right? Now it's good to do our introspection and work on ourselves and all that, but it's also good to make sure that we aren't completely severing ties with everything and everyone, because that's not healthy either, right? Balance. So if you've been feeling kind of a sense of loneliness during this transitional period in your life right now, just know and recognize that, you know, spirit is also like, first off, you're not alone. That's a Michael Jackson. You are not alone. I can't wait for that movie. Anyway, but yes, like you're not alone. They're with you. You know, your spirit guides, the Most High, the universe, your ancestors, so on and so forth. Your spirit team. And I'm also getting like relying on people who you're close to as well, creating a greater sense of a bond with, you know, people who are part of like your soul tribe and stuff. Hi Angela, how are you? Let's get one last one from here, and then we're going to get an affirmation to close out, and that would be the end of the reading. Like I said, this part right now is just the collective message to close everything out. I like to do that as a thank you for being here kind of thing, and hopefully the message is resonating. We have mystery, something vague, secret, not fully understood or concealed from knowledge. Remember I was talking about the Akashic records? Look at that. Look at that key right there. You got the key. You know what I mean? Like the key to all of the things, all of infinite knowledge. You just gotta tap into it. The more that you open up yourself, I'm still trying to get more in tune with understanding my Akashic records too, because it's like I said, it's there. It's just, you know, gotta open up that gateway, and that takes activation, right? It takes growth. We have self on the bottom of the deck. It is the awareness of one's own thoughts, feelings, and existence, focusing solely on thinking about and seeing oneself. Yes, yes. Wow. And fox. Cleverness combined with trickery or cunning, finding solutions in challenging situations. Again, you guys are also kind of resourceful. I like that. Like, I'm not even getting it. Like, I'm not getting like, you know, fox like in a bad way. I'm thinking people who are like very resourceful and clever, and you know, getting something more like that versus something, you know, malevolent. Malevolent. I don't know why I had such a hard time saying that word just now. Choices. Becoming aware of different options or making a choice between paths, right? Picking your higher self over your lower self is kind of what I'm getting. You know, time to vibrate higher and, you know, remove self from the things that might have been keeping you in a lower vibration. And like I said, those things could be internal. You know, it could be the things around you, right? Recognizing what those things are, but it's a part of your divine destiny, right? To have this breakthrough. That's just from me splitting the deck. All right, so we're gonna get, I think in one part should be good to close out. And then that will be the end. I'm gonna make myself some dinner. I'm gonna make some chicken fajita pasta, and then I'm gonna tap into my girl Lati from Tears on Me Tarot Show, which I know she's going on at 8 o'clock, and I'm excited about that. I'll check my girl out. Alright, a couple more shuffles, and then pull that card to close out this reading. Greatly appreciate you guys for being here, and I did see grounded just now. Of course, it's in the deck. I'm probably not gonna find it now. But yes, I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. But bottom of the deck, we have beautiful. I honor the beauty of my physical form, recognizing that I am truly beautiful inside and out. I like that. All right, that was just on the bottom of the deck. But let's see what the ultimate message here is to close out. Spiritual guidance. I attune to the frequency of my higher self. Can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. And spirit guides, receiving truth and clarity from beyond the physical world. And that is the reading, guys. That is it. That is it. That is it. I'm done. Okay. I'm lying because I want to see what's on the bottom now. Beautiful is here again. What's on the top? Soul tribe. And I talked about that too, right? It could be lonely, right? But you're guided in the right direction to meet the right people. I'm surrounded by visionaries, creators, and kindred spirits, because I believe that those were the words that a new moon just used. Oh, she said kismet. But yeah, very similar, right? Kindred, kismet, very, very similar energies. And kindred spirits who ignite my passion and purpose here on the top. And the middle of the deck, we have space clearing. That goes back to like the spiritual bathing stuff that I was talking about. I bless my surroundings with cleansing light, clearing away all negativity and restoring energetic balance. I did see the grounding card, of course, like mind action, daily choices. Of course, like the card, because I started shuffling, like shit. But we were talking about getting grounded earlier, and then it showed up, but then it disappeared. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I do hope that you guys resonated with the emoji that you picked, and if you did, I hope that you also hit that like button already and subscribed, all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell too, so you know when I'm on, all that good stuff, so we can stay connected. And yeah, and I also hope that you guys enjoyed that last little bonus reading that we just did, just to kind of see what's going on with you guys. And I mean, it's pretty powerful, I would say. So you guys are amazing. Never forget that. And I love you guys from the moon and back. Or to the moon and back. But yeah, until next time, my lovies, I'm going to post this up and post the timestamp so you can come back to the reading if you didn't get to catch it before. And until next time, my loves, you guys have a great rest of your evening. Mwah. And a nice rest of your weekend, too. Bye.